Good morning, guys. It's March 10, 2023. It's 3 minutes before the market opens, and I'm here finishing up my watch list. So, for those of you who are asking on how to start to learn or where to begin in day trading, you can check our website out. It's called ecourseunlock.com, and in that website, you get to see a lot of resources there. We have when you click and scroll down, we do have our book. It's Day Trading Unlocked by Mary de Guzman. It's now available on Amazon. Please check that one out to check if day trading is for you. We also have a day trading course that we currently offer, and that day trading course includes more than 35 hours of learning. We add to the content every week, so learning does not stop, and the syllabus is posted as well in our website. So we do have what is day trading, platform setup and order types, pre-market routine, and live trading, just like what I've been doing every single morning, every single day. Fundamental versus technical analysis is discussed, strategies is there, how you can consistently become profitable in day trading, have that higher accuracy than the rest of day traders, as well as risk management is there, very important, creating a trade book, trading psychology. We do have trade reviews there, and a conclusion. It includes there as well that Day Trading Unlocked book that is published on Amazon. And if you want to just learn more and see whether this one is for you, you can also just fill in this the name and email, and we'll give you the latest update on what's going on with day trading and how we select the best day trading setup, best trading stock for the day. So with that being said, let's get right to our watch list. So with my watch list, I am currently watching, let me just make sure that my screen here is visible. So less than 1 minute before the market opens, I am watching Roblox. Roblox is a gap up. I have a pre-market level here and pre-market high at 41.45. I am also watching, for my gap up, I am also watching Tesla. Not a lot of gap up, just 1.2, and Rivian. But I will focus on the gap down, which is SIVB, a gap down of 62. Right now it's on hold, as well as DOCU. DOCU is a gap down as well. So I am biased to the gap down versus the gap up today. There's not a lot of gap up stocks. So my strategy for today is an opening range breakdown if we do see that opportunity in the gap down. So this one is just some profit takers for the DOCU, and then this one is about to get halted as well. This one just went all the way past through that pre-market low. Could have been a good opening range breakdown, but I was watching a different stock, so I did not get to have a trade on this. But yeah, this one is a very good stock if we were able to watch it earlier. So let me just share my screen here so you can see what I'm watching. So yeah, this one just got halted, and that's what I was calling out, that it's about to get halted. GPS has not a lot of volume, only 208, so expect not a lot of movement there. This one, DB, is part of a gap down as well. It is gapping down by 5.6%, and DB has 1.7 million shares that's actively being traded. Not a lot of volume, that's why there's not a lot of volume flow. This one, SIVB, is still on. This one just went lower than. All right, so I am starting a small position here, going to, this is a gap down. The perfect scenario here was a gap down play or an opening range breakdown when it was at 53.31, but I was watching a different stock, so a little bit late to the party, but still working in my favor right here. Stop loss right here is going to be the high of this body, which is 53.77. Expect a resistance there just because we do have, so 53 point, I'm basing now my stop loss in the 1 minute chart. See, so 1 minute chart has that that pre-market low is there, which is, I put my level just a little above that pre-market low, and let's see if this is gonna stop me out. And yeah, out at DOCU. DOCU did not get me filled with my stop loss, so I needed to do that manually. So that's testing that high of this. This is now the high of the day, 54.2. So strategy here is I will be looking for weakness, but right now it's very, very strong, so no trade yet for this since getting stop out. Yeah, So what is the SPY doing? SPY is also heading lower. So thought process here is I would like to reshort this one once it shows us some signs of weakness. Roblox was the gap up. Now it's filling the gap. So looking at the volume here, I'm starting to do short here just because this candlestick right here, I can use this previous candlestick. This is an inverted hammer, which is a sign of reversal and sign of weakness. So my stop loss is at 55.4. So that pre-market low 53.32 is acting as a strong support there. But I do have my stop loss at 55.4. I don't like that the volume is dying as well when this one was going lower. Looking now at level 2, there's not a lot of imbalance in level 2, but expected that 53.16 is going to be a strong support there. So once we broke that support, then expect that it will has the potential to touch the low of the day, 52.26. So no imbalance right here. SPY is going lower as well. This one has been a gap down for 16.8%. So that's a very big gap down for a docu because this company is a solid company. Just trying to see if they did have news. And I don't see any yet. So I'll check that news as soon as I get to see any. So there's a big bid right here, 53.45. So 53.45, once that gets filled, so we're heading lower. But it can also be just a low baller right there. So right now, we're building up some momentum right here. This one is still halted, about to get halted, second hold. This is not a lot of volume here as well, so expect that since the volume is dying, expect there's going to be a consolidation there. Adding to my position here. So since I added to my position, 55.41, I am updating my stop loss. Just looking at coin had been a good gap down here as well, and this one is just moving very clean. So just looking at JP Morgan here. So again, that pre-market low is acting as a strong support there. This one is already working in our favor. The thing is, since getting red right at the open, right now I'm like having paper hands, just because at this point I am going to be starting to take some partial. Now moving this one lower than, I'm okay to get stop out here just because I did not get an edge because I started red here. I started red because I had to okay, so got stop out there. So that was just like a break-even trade, or actually a break-even trade. I wanted to go really short this one, but right now we are heading at the low of the day. So expect a bounce from there, and that's why I needed to go out. There is, let's see here, not a lot of 52.50. is the next destination here to the short. Just shorting this one because we do have a buildup of bid right here. So that's very bearish. So expect a flush at 52.50. And yeah, we just did that. 52.42 now. We are breaking the low of the day. And that's why I needed to re-enter this one to the short side. 52, this is the low of the day, and that's acting as a strong support. Bunch of bids right here as well. So that's very bearish. So this one has the momentum to go lower. Bunch of orders here, so this one now is working in my favor. Taking some partial here, don't want to take this one and make this into a losing trade. And yeah, this one is already working in my favor. So what I'm doing right now is just basically trailing my stop, and that stopped me out. So that trade right there is 1400. So that one was a large volume right there. So expect some resistance there. Let's see here. This one's still halted. This one is still halted. DB. Let's see. This is also the one that I was watching, but not a lot of volume when I pull it up. The thing here is it can still go lower, but I don't have an edge just because it had already had massive volume. There is 51.50 right here. But yeah, I would like to enter when it has a pullback. So a bear flag pattern, that's where I would like to enter. This one, not a lot of volume when it's pushing down. It is heading to 51.44, 43, but I would like to enter it when it bump up again, like closer to this pre-market low. That is the level that I would like to reshort this. GPS is the one that has not a lot of volume. This one is the thing that makes me short bias on this is we do have this level right here. 11.25 can serve as a good stop loss right here, and it's very bearish just because of the wick right here. And with those wicks, I am pretty much have my bias right here that this is a short bias. So 11.26 is my stop loss. Volume here is building up when it's pushing downward. This one is a gap down, so that's the reason why I am short bias on this. We did see a push higher, but once you see the push higher right here, we do see the momentum right there. A lot of volume, but also, let's see. The volume here is picking up when it's pushing lower, so that's very bearish. So this is the reason why I did not want to re-enter DOCU, because that is acting as a strong support, and I don't want to get... so I'm adding a position right here. Since I added to my position, now I am updating my stop loss because I have a bigger volume. So this one is already working in my favor. Since it is going lower, I am adding to my position, and adding to my position, I am also updating my stop loss. So 11.26. So 11.26 is the stop loss right there. So this one is already working. Taking some partial. Now moving my stop loss lower than my break even. So this one, even if this one bounced back, then this one is already a green trade right here. So this one looks like it's about to stop me out, but this one is already a green trade right here. So, but there are a bunch of, let's see, not a lot of imbalance in the bid and the ask. Alright, so this one already working in my favor. Not a lot of volume there when this one was going lower, or when it closed white, not a lot of volume there. So expect a momentum for this one to even go lower. It's now testing that level 10.70, and we do have those prints 10.72, bunch of bids right here, 69, 70 as well, and there's a 10.55 waiting right here, so that's very bearish. So that one stopped me out. So that one was the trade for this stock. So since that stopped me out, I am gonna look for a different stock to trade right now. I just don't like that it is consolidating right here, not a lot of volume. So expect that, yeah, we are under that consolidation. Hey buddy, can you hear me? Hey, I wasn't sure whether you're able to hear me or not earlier. I exited all my position now. I only traded two, and yeah, already have got my targeted profit for the day. So just trying to see whether there's any more setup, but right now I'm not seeing anything. Are you still in the trade? Yeah. So I traded GPS as well as DocU. Yeah. Gap down list. GPS, the way that I saw that was in our scanner in that gap down. If you use that scanner, then it is actually the top two. So first is DocU, and then next one is GPS. And the reason why I have DocU on the list as well, aside from having that on the gap down, is the rest of the gap down is unhalted. So right at the open, you can't even touch it because two stocks were halted. That includes FRC as well as SIVB. And DocU, I've been trading this one before. I was looking if there was any news that could have been the catalyst for this one to gap down. I did not see any. But yeah, it was a good setup. Right now it's consolidating, and that's why I went all out when it went to 51.67. Right now, since the volume is dying, expect a consolidation here with DocU. I shared my screen with you, so I don't know whether you're able to see that. And then GPS, I was able to write this one down from, because this wick right here, so two wicks, this is a gap down. This one was showing signs of weakness because we are now heading to lower low, lower high. So this wick is higher than this wick. So that means we are showing signs of reversal. And that's when I look at the 1 minute, I entered short there at below this wick, added to my position. So building up the position there, added to the VWAP, and then had a very small move there. But since the initial position is all the way up here, that was still a green trade right there. And then all out when it passed through, or before it passed through VWAP. Tesla here, sorry, I know we can go back to that DocU one, but Tesla here looks like it is forming a good reversal as well. The good reversal here at Tesla is once this body right here, or this hammer, closes and then waited for this entry at 170.65. That could have been a good entry, but just because I was looking at something else, I did not catch that. So for DocU was an opening range breakdown. This one was, I chased this one. I was still doing my level, so opening range breakdown, I went here, but the perfect spot for an opening range breakdown is at 53.24. I entered late 52.58, and that's the reason why I have a red trade to begin with this. So first red trade here, this trade, and then I waited for another entry for some signs of weakness. This wick right here was a sign for me for a weakness, so I entered there, short right there. Stop loss is that at top of the wick, And then that top of the wick almost got me stop out with this. This one actually scared me. But when I saw that it was still wick reversing here, this is the time that I added to my position. And sure enough, we passed through the VWAP. And once it passed through the VWAP, then I started covering there. Cover. And then it's heading to the low of the day, which is this level right here. I had paper hands right here, needed to cover everything just because I was trading my profit and loss right there. Since I was red at this trade, I needed to make sure that I cover aggressively here to make it green. So once I covered it all the way here, I was green at that point, and then it was still heading lower. So I re-entered, added to my position, and cover all the way here. I went all out right here because the volume here is really high. That means it can also be showing that all the sellers could have been showing some signs of sellers are getting weak now as well. And sure enough, as soon as I went out, it is now just under consolidation. So this one, how I look at it is, it already made the move, right? Look at the parabolic volume bar right here. It already went all, this move was so huge that how you look at it is the sellers got exhausted. So how much more sellers can go into that when they get exhausted? So that's why get exhausted, and now it's just consolidating. So this volume bar right here, comparing it to the rest of the volume bar, it's just, this one is like middle range or not a lot of volume. Not a lot of volume, meaning that would be consolidation. Now, if you look at the docu here, this one was a good sign of reversal in the 5 minutes. But docu, I still see this one as a weak stock. So what I'm looking at here is a sign of weakness still. I want this one to test VWAP. This can even test the high of the day, this wick and this wick right here. So I don't have an edge yet to try to reshort it. I don't like that the volume is not there anymore as well. So this is going to be a high probability trade in case there's another setup here. But that's why I'm not going to touch docu right now, but I'll look for a different setup that has, or that can give us a higher probability of a move. So Tesla did had that rejection at yesterday's closing price. SPY as well is weak, so we have to take that into consideration. If the SPY is weak, most of the stocks will be getting pulled down as well with that. So Roblox was one of the gap up that I was watching. So we have that gap up right here, but we did see here that gap fill, and this is not the perfect setup because if you look at the daily, it actually opened right there in the middle of the wick. So that means if it's the middle of the wick, that is an inside bar play. It already broke yesterday's level. So at this point, no trades, no setup here. So let's see, DB is weak. This one I was watching as well at the open. I did not like this one at the open because at the open, there's only like 2 million shares being traded. For me, the reason why I did not laser focus on this is if you look at the level 2, there's not a lot of movements there as well. There's movement, but if you look at 11.19, 11.19, 11.18, so right there, you can just see that this is just moving like by 0.001 cent. So not a lot of, we cannot get a lot from there. Let's see what coin is doing. Coin found a good reversal there. This hammer. Looks like, we have found the bottom. Even in NVIDIA had found that support in S4. Let's see, Microsoft. Microsoft looks like it did found a bottom right there as well. Do we have a follow through? I don't think we will have, just because the volume in the 1 minute is so tiny that this one can just consolidate in this area. So that's how you get to cross out those stocks that is not going to give you a high probability trade. JP Morgan have found a support in S3 but is now moving without us, so it's already up by 1.1%. Let's see what Amazon is doing. Amazon, this could happen. So a lot of, let's see. Not a lot of volume as well in GPS. Volume is dying here. So yeah, just watching right now. See what the market is going to give us. SPY is still on that gap down. It broke yesterday's low. So let's see if the SPY have found the bottom and this one decides to bounce back, then it would be a good strategy to go long either Microsoft, Amazon, yeah, those stocks right there. So I like what Microsoft is doing. I'm going to start a small position here. I saw this one in the 5 minutes just because this level right here in 248.36 can act as a support right here. So meaning that would be my stop loss right there. So I'm only starting a small position, which is 400 shares for this. Stop loss is at 248.31. The thing that I don't like about this is not a lot of volume when it's pushing higher. But looking at the SPY is just broke the VWAP. So that can also help this trade right here. I was looking at NVIDIA. NVIDIA also have found that support and it's now trending higher. So since I, did not get to trade NVIDIA, I was looking for a laggard, and Microsoft looks like it hasn't had that move yet. So that's why I picked Microsoft. And then also this one was the giveaway. You have the hammer. This one is acting as, still that level is there. It's intact. So I can have a logical stop loss right there based from this doji right here. Now we're heading to the VWAP. So expect, resistance at the VWAP. That's pretty much normal because retail traders will be taking some partial, taking some profit with that, but that's normal. So, but once we go past through that, then we're heading to the right direction and we'll have more momentum. I like that the volume here is increasing as well. But yeah, that was the pullback that I was talking about. SPY, of course, is having that pullback as well. So I don't like that. That's why I haven't taken my partial, but I am now moving my stop loss above my break even so I don't turn this one into a losing trade. So yeah, no partial for me yet, just because it's a small position anyway. That stopped me out, so I only got $32 with that, but that's okay with me. That was a low probability trade that I did not want to turn into a red trade. Now JP Morgan, this one is a short. Looking at the doji right here, so I entered short right there. I only had 400 shares. This one was the giveaway because of the R3. R3 started to have a strong resistance there, and stop loss right here is at 132.50. Logical stop loss. So what I saw with JP Morgan, it was in my gap down lists. This one was, let's see. It actually opened at yesterday's closing price. So not a lot of movements there. But this doing now the pivot point strategy, the R3 and the S3, look at how it had been respecting the R3 and the S3. When it went to S3, it bounced back up. When it went to R3, that here is the giveaway there that I was trigger point for me to go short. Doji right here, so that's the high, and this is the high right here. Same as the 5 minutes, and so far this one is working in my favor. Still bunch of red prints here, so that's very bearish. Since I only have a small position, let's see here, thinking of, do I take a partial now versus I let it run? I don't like that it's having that resistance at 131.08. I don't like that there's not a lot of volume when this is pushing down. But let's see. Not a lot of imbalance as well in level 2. So with this, I'll just let it do what it wants to do. Sometimes what I will do is even lower down my stop loss when I'm not so confident with the trade. Yeah, I will do that sometimes, lower it down here. But right now, 132.5 is my stop loss, and this one is not working. I'm just taking some partial, and that's when you get to see me taking partial earlier, because what I expect is once I enter a trade, I want it to work. And yeah, it got me stop out. Once I see a trade, I want it to work quickly. If it's not going to work quickly, then my confidence also is affected, as well as this level, the level 2, as well as the tape is not showing me some signs that it is very bearish. And that's why I needed to get all out. So going all out at this level, still got like $32 from that, but that prevents me from having this stock as a losing trade. So that's why sometimes I would get out of a trade easily or earlier, because first, level 2 is not there, tape is not there, volume is not there, and that's what I saw in JP Morgan. Volume is not there, and once the volume is not there, there's no momentum for this one to go down, and look at how it's curling up now. So if I did not go all out, then this could have been a losing trade. So now going back to GPS, this could be a good short. The only thing, because of this another wick right here, the only thing now that I don't like here is, look at the volume here. Not a lot of volume, so that means this one can just go back and forth at this level. I don't like that. I don't like tying my capital in a trade that will take a long time. So this is the thing as well about not sticking to, the initial plan. Look at what Microsoft did. So Microsoft, if I was not moving my stop loss, if I had my stop loss, which is the initial is at 248, I could have, make profit with this. I did not get to monetize on that move, but that's how trading works. You're not going to be able to catch everything. That's okay with me. Now, JP Morgan, this one is, okay, I'm reshorting JP Morgan because now I'm looking at the 5 minutes. 5 minutes, I still can have my stop loss at the top of that wick, 132.50. So the same stop loss that I have, I'm putting 132.51 instead of 50. If I look at the 5 minutes, this wick right here is higher than this wick right here. So that is still showing some sign of reversal in the 5 minutes. Now, I'm not 100% sure with that. All I can see is this level. This wick right here is higher than this wick. So meaning I can still make a logical stop loss, which is on top of this wick. This wick right here is this wick at this 1 minute. And having that logical stop loss, re-entering it here. Look at the volume here. Volume is 142.31 when it's pushing lower. So the momentum is there when this one is pushing lower. So I like that. But not 100% sure with every trade that we take. That's why our stop loss is there, just in case this one does not turn out as I've expected it to. So now looking at the tape, 132.02, 3087 right there. So let's see, having some resistance there. No imbalance in level 2, so this can go either way. Let's see, do we have any levels? I don't like how 5 minutes is looking, because in the 5 minutes, if you see that one, it's still like higher high, higher, well, this one is higher low because it opened right above this body. So yeah, I don't like that. But now looking at 1 minute, the volume, when it's pushing up, not a lot. This one, not a lot as well. I'm comparing this one now to this volume bar right here. When I see those volume bar that are like medium size, expect like a little bit of consolidation there. And that's the thing about, what time is it? It's 10:10. So yeah, not a lot of volume at this time. So we'll just let it show us what it wants to do. So stop loss is there. Volume is not there when it's pushing higher. But yeah, that can pretty much just test the high of the day. Now, let's see here. If I'm being aggressive, what I'll do is have an order sitting at 131.7 to add to the short. But since this is the second trade that I'm doing here in JP Morgan, probability here that it's going to work in my favor is not that high. I'm not, confident with this trade, so I'm not going to be adding. But right now it's working. Let's see what 5 minutes did. 5 minutes. Okay, so this one taking some partial there. A bit aggressive with the partial. I just don't want this one to turn red on me. So now I lower down my stop loss, lower down my break even. This can pretty much just stop me out. I'm okay with that. because yeah, it got me step out. So that one is a scalp trade. Let's see. Okay, Rivian is a short now. What I saw with Rivian is, let's see. Okay, shorting Rivian. What I saw with Rivian is we did have that V reversal. Now with this V reversal, we have that R3 right there. I can have a stop loss at the high of the day, which is 14.91. So high of the day, 14.91. I'm just going to put 0.01 higher than that. So it's going to be 14.92 is the stop loss. So let's see. The thing that triggered me to go short at Rivian is this one is an inside bar. So with the inside bar strategy, what you wanted to do is those pivot points. So yeah, one can argue, so this one is already working. One can argue it's not really as, clean, the R3 and the S3, but we always wanted to see those R3 and S3 as a zone. Those are an area. So it doesn't have to be right there exactly, but look at how it had been respecting the S3 here. The body of this candlesticks is above the S3 while I'm doing this one, just watching the 1 minute as well. Volume is picking up here, lots of red prints right here, so that's very bearish. Thinking of adding to this position since I'm already green, small green trade here. Adding to my position here. Now since I add to my position, I am just gonna update my stop loss here. So 14.91 is the top loss. So what I was saying is, this pivot point strategy here, we are in that level in the daily. So we're inside bar. So that's the strategy there. It's just going to be inside this R3 and S3. Looking at the volume, not a lot of volume. That can be consolidation as well. So level 2 does not give us any clue to, because just eyeballing it, it looks equal to me. There's a lot here in the bid, there's a lot in the ask. So now looking at the 5 minutes, 5 minutes is reassuring because we open at the low of the body of this. So that means that can be a sign of continuation. I will be scared with this trade if this candlestick open above the body of this. But that means, we still have room for this one to either invalidate our thesis or prove that our thesis is valid. While this one is consolidating, I'm looking at other stocks and seeing if there's any other setups. So this one is very, JP Morgan looks weak now. But I don't like that it's consolidating here. I would like to rather see a wick. Not a lot of volume here. It can easily just get, break the high of the day as well. So Rivian is just consolidating. Nvidia had a good rejection right there. And that showed that, this doji right here was the sign of that reversal there. But I would not have catch that because it's like the reversal happened like in between this level. So that's a risky trade to take. So GPS, and this is the one that I was talking about earlier. There's a wick right here, but the volume is dying, and that's the reason why. Look at the level here. It just keeps bouncing from 1104 to 10.91. So not a lot of movements there. That's why I did not want to enter that. Now this one is this one is bearish. I don't like that there's not a lot of volume. I'm adding to my position here because I'm basing this one now to the 5 minutes. So now, since my initial stop loss is all the way up here, now I'm going to be using this 2 wick right here just to lower down my risk. Lowering down my risk because I added to my position. So my position now is more than what I typically start off with. So let's see here. I don't like that there's not a lot of volume. The volume is dying as well in the 1 minute. So that can take a while. That can just consolidate. So while that's happening, I'm just going to be looking for other trades. This is the reason why I was not confident in re-entering JP Morgan. I was saying earlier, it can be a short. It can also just test that high of the day and just squeeze the shorts there. And looks like that's what's happening. That is the case as well when there's not a lot of volume. Expect that, yeah, consolidation is there. So Rivian now, it's like we're cooking Rivian. It's, trading is like cooking. Now it's about to, it's already working in our favor. But the reason why I needed to build up to that position rather than have a bigger position with one trade is because the confidence, the probability is not there. But right now it's working, so partialing here. After partialing, covering, that first 25%, lowering down my risk now, lower than my break even. So even if this turned back up, then this is still a green trade. Let's see, my entry here is 14.71, stop close is 14.64. So even if it stopped me out, I still have at least 12 cents profit from this trade. So this is the time that I just get to trail my stop. And this is the good position when you're only trailing your stop, because that means you're just locking in some profit there. If it stopped you out, it still is a good thing because you have locked in your profit. This is the level pre-market. This dotted line right here is yesterday's closing price. So expect a good support right there. And that's why I am just lowering down my stop loss right here. And I got stop out. So with that, that's another 300 there with Rivian. But if you look at the Rivian, those red candlestick, we were able to make money from those red candlestick. And it does not have to be, a parabolic big of a candlestick. It can even just this two little candlestick there, you can still make money of that if you increase your position size. So far right now, all green trades, no red trades yet. And I met my goal. Unless there is an A+ setup, that's the only time for me to enter a trade. Otherwise, I'm done with my trade. So right now I don't see any trades, and so I'll just do my quick recap. Hi guys, so I finished my trade and I am just going to be doing a quick recap here. So to begin with, I traded Docu, and what I saw with Docu is it is a big gap down here. Let me just get my pen. So with Docu, let me just make sure that my screen is shared. All right, so what I saw with Docu was a big gap down right here. And the thing is, there's two other stocks that I was watching, SIVB as well as this one, both were on hold. So on hold, that means you cannot even go in and out of that trade. So with Docu, a little bit of a FOMO with Docu, just because I don't get to see anything else that's forming. So this level right here is my pre-market low and my pre-market high. And when I saw that it is moving, but it is already below the pre-market low, the ideal trade for this is for an opening range breakout is to go, short if it's in that level. So this level is at 53.29. I saw this one late, so chasing this stock, which is I don't recommend. So a little bit of a chase there, and I paid for that. So I paid for that because I got stopped out right there, just a little above VWAP. So first trade was a red trade for me. Now, when that red trade happened, psychology is messed up because that was the first trade. So I waited for another signal for this one to show me that it is definitely weak and showing some signs of weakness. So at this point, I'm trading the 1 minute. I saw this wick right here, which is very bearish. So what I did was I went short at that very small body of this wick. So I hit that short stop loss is about to wick. I thought with this candlestick, I am going to get stopped out. So at that point, was really scared with this trade, and it did not stop me out because my stop loss is above the wick, went all the way up here. When I saw that the weakness is still there, thesis is still valid, that's the time that I added to my position right there. So when I added to my position right there, we did see a flush right here to lower than the VWAP, and it went lower than the pre-market low. When I saw that it went lower than the pre-market low, I have paper hands because this trade right here already had me onto a red trade. So at this point, I am trading my profit and loss. When I saw that it is above my loss, I needed to be aggressive in my taking some profit. So profit there and all the way out there. So when I was all the way out, I did have to see, and I saw that we are still building up a lot of bid. So a lot of bid, meaning it's still bearish. So I wanted to re-enter the trade. So I re-entered the trade right here. And with that re-entering the trade, I was able to capture the move right there. I did not get to see any more imbalance in the level 2, not a lot of red prints as well in the tape. And then what I saw here is the exhaustion of the sellers. Look at this parabolic move here of this volume bar. So this volume bar right here, comparing it from the rest of the volume bar, this is one of the highest volume bar right here. So thought process here is all those who were short, and also because imagine this one is a parabolic, a big gap down as well. So with that exhaustion of the sellers right there, expect that if there's not a lot of sellers who's going to be jumping in as well, then there's no move for this one to go lower. And that's the reason why I went all out right here, because I do not anticipate that there would be a volume like even higher than this volume right here, because compared to the volume bar of this, that is already one of the highest one. And that's the reason why I went all out. When I went all out, sure enough, it is just on that consolidation. Did not want to touch DOCU again because the volume is not there. So when the volume is there, when the volume is just very minimal compared to this big volume bar right here, expect that it is going to be under consolidation. And that's what happened here. So did not touch DOCU again. Next one is GPS. What I saw with GPS while I was reading DOCU was it is also part of my gap down. I saw this one with my scanner right here. Let me just share this scanner. So this scanner right here is showing the gap down. So part of the gap down is DOCU is number 1, GPS is there. And then, so that's where I found GPS. So with GPS, since this is a gap down, I am bearish bias on this. I did not see this move because I was reading DOCU at that time. But what I saw was this wick right here and this wick right here. Now, the indicator for me to go short for this is, first, it had caught my attention because the wick is very bearish. Now, comparing this wick from this wick, we are heading lower low, lower high. We are having the reversal. So when I saw that, I entered short, and I was using the 1 minute here. So I entered short right here. Stop loss is just on top of this and adding to my position. When it broke the VWAP, I added to my position, added here. So building my position there because this one is a cheap stack. Now, when it moved and tested the level right here, this is the time that I started covering. So I covered there, moving my stop loss lower than my break even. Since I've been building my position, my entry here is at this level. So this one just stopped me out. So very small move, but just because I built up to my position, that still gave me a green trade for GPS. But if you look at the 5 minutes, I just made some profit with this move right there. Just ride the momentum when it's going down, and was able to do that because I was using level 2 as well as the tape. When the tape stops printing red, that's the time for me to go out. And also looking at the volume bar right here, this volume bar right here looks like an exhaustion. The sellers are getting tired, and as soon as I go out, then look at this one, it's just flat right there, and that's when it is just consolidating. So next one is JP Morgan. What I saw with JP Morgan is this one is an inside bar, not really a big gap down comparing from this candlestick right here. So comparing from yesterday, it opened at this level. So just very tiny lower opening compared from previous day lower price. So this is the previous day closing price. Did not get to see this one right at the open, but look at how it's respecting the R3 and the S3. So this one now is a pivot point strategy. So with a pivot point strategy, what I saw was S3 is being respected, R3 is being respected. I was waiting for this one to show me some signs. This one is a good short right here, by the way, but I'm done with my trade. So, but yeah, very good short here. I could have entered this one in a heartbeat. Volume is there, but yeah, anyway. So this one is a short right here. We got the wick right there touching the R3. We did find a good rejection there. Then a stop loss is on that R3. When I saw that we did not even have the momentum for this one to test the R3, that's the time that and yeah, this one is already. Okay, so that's the time that I added to my position, cover, and moving my stop loss to break even. And that's the time that I got stop out. I did have to trade this one twice. I know you cannot see it here in the 5 minutes, but here in 1 minute, let's see it clearly here. So this is the initial trade that I did. First trade, short, cover right here, very small position. I think I only got 30 bucks there. Did not even have the momentum to test the high of the day. So short again, and cover. So with these two trades, both green, it just adds up to like a 167. So very small green trade right there. And then the next one is Microsoft. Microsoft is a very small move. I did not get to make a big profit on Microsoft because FOMO was sinking in. The initial thesis here is this wick right here serve as the S4, serve as a good bouncing point and a good support. So when I saw this one was the flag for me that we are heading to a reversal. This doji right here was a good level for me to trade off of. So I entered at the top of the wick. That is my entry. Stop loss is the low of that wick. And of course, I got a little bit of, I got a little bit scared here. So instead of sticking to my initial stop loss, I was just trailing it because I saw that the VWAP is acting as a strong resistance there. I did not want to have any red trade. So I got stopped out higher than my entry. So that only gave me $32, but that could have been a good runner if I stick to my own thesis. But yeah, all out with Microsoft. And then next is Rivian. What I saw with Rivian is this is yesterday's price. We have that V reversal right there, but it is not convincing that this one is strong for this one to move higher, because if I'm looking at the candlestick, look at this two candlestick right here, did not even have the momentum to test the high of the day, which is this level right here. This level is around 14.9, did not have the capacity to go past through that. So when I saw that, that's showing some signs of weakness, that's the time that I entered short right here, R3 as my the indicator for me that this is respecting the R3 and the S3. Stop loss initially was here. When it was working in my favor, I added to my position, and it is still going below R3. I added to my position right here. At that time that this candlestick is forming below the body of this candlestick, that's the time for me to lower down my risk because I have added to my position already. So at that point, I have to move my stop loss at this level. So even if it bounced back against me, then my stop loss is not far away from that entry. So from initial stop loss of here, moving it here when it was moving in my direction, was able to partial right here. A bit aggressive with my partial, but that's also because I saw that this level right here is yesterday's closing price. So that can act as a strong support. And look at what it did to that level. It did bounce off of that level. That level acted as a strong support. And that's the reason why I was trailing my stop right here. And I was all out at this level. So those are my trades for the day. So Rivian, Microsoft, JP Morgan, GPS, and DocU. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 out of 5 green trades, 100% accuracy. So if you do want to learn how to day trade for a living, I do encourage you to check our website out. It is called eCourse Unlock. And with that eCourse Unlock, we do have our courses that is currently offered. And those courses are, day trading unlock. It has 35 hours of learning, and we do add to that course every week, so learning never stops. So if you do have questions, please feel free to email me, and I hope you had a green trading day. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you at the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.